Hi everyone, it's Miss Plumly. I sent out a survey on Friday to see which book you guys wanted me to read, and you guys ended up choosing the Doughnut Fix. And I'm going to go ahead and read a few chapters every day and go ahead and put it on YouTube for you guys to listen to me read to you guys. So, looking at this cover and the title, what do you think this book is going to be about? I think this book is going to be about donuts, maybe? Maybe it'll talk about how you cook donuts or how people eat them. I don't know. So I guess we're going to have to find out, okay? Alrighty. Chapter 1. It started off like any normal Saturday with Janine, Zoe, and me flipping through cookbooks on the living room floor. For Mom, teaching us to bake was right up there with teaching us to read. As soon as we were old enough to digest chocolate, we got a dessert day. One day a week to make whatever we wanted. We'd pick up our recipes on Saturday morning, then shop for ingredients after eating breakfast at Barney Greengrass, a deli few blocks up from Amsterdam Avenue from our apartment. I'd been working my way through Roland Manzier's basic, beautiful cakes since I got it for my birthday in July. Roland is king when it comes to cake. He was the White House pastry chef for 25 years. That morning, I decided to tackle the white chocolate dome cake Roland created for President Jimmy Carter, minus the nasty orange syrup he uses. Except for cutting out stuff I hate. I usually follow the recipe exactly, which drives Mom crazy. She says you have to make a recipe your own, but she's a professional. As usual, it took Zoe no time at all to pick her dessert, because she always chooses snickerdoodles and knows the ingredients by heart. Janine couldn't make up her mind between triple chocolate chip cookies and banoffee pie. Janine is talented and gifted, which means no matter the question, she's always sure there's a right answer. So when there's no right or wrong, when it's just red or blue, plain or sesame, she totally falls apart. I was rooting for the cookies for the simple reason that banoffee pie is disgusting. It never even gets cooked, so it's all cold and slimy like hand sanitizer. I kept my opinion to myself, though. I may be 2 years older, but Janine never listens to me about anything, not even a dessert. According to the New York City Department of Education, I, Tristan Levin, am not gifted or talented. I can make a perfect chocolate chip cookie, but Mom made sure we could all do that. I'm not entirely clear on what about me isn't G&T material, but I'm guessing the fact that I still use my fingers to do the nines trick has something to do with it. When Janine turned 7, it was like God had downloaded every single multiplication fact right into her brain. What I don't get about the whole G&T thing is that it's not something I can change. I'm pretty good at knowing what I can control and what I can't. I guess that's not something G&T tests for because Janine never knows. I used to think my name was one of those things that I was just stuck with. But then I found out you can legally change your name. Charlie's Uncle Ralph, named Uncle Damien, did it. Personally, I don't think Damien's any better than Ralph, but neither are as bad as Tristan. What do you think of Jax? There is something especially cool about a name with an X in it, right? But then, sometimes I wonder if it sounds too much like a dog. Here, Jax, roll over, Jax. You can't change your name till you're 18, and I'm only 12, so I got some time. When half an hour had gone by, Janine still hadn't picked her dessert. I told my parents I'd meet them at breakfast. Barney's opens at 8:30, and if you're not there by 9, you'll never get a table, even if you're a regular. Barney's isn't fancy or anything. The wallpaper is peeling and has food smeared on it, and most of the chairs are crisscrossed with duct tape. But I'm telling you, none of that matters once you taste the food. If I could eat only one thing for the rest of my life, it could be Barney's eggs and onions. The eggs are so creamy. They taste like custard, and the onions are so sweet. You'd swear they were cooked in maple syrup. Then there's the smell. Just one whiff of that air dripping with chicken soup, sauteed onions, and garlic bagels, and shazam! The whole world goes all Willy Wonka, big glass elevator crashing through the ceiling, happy endings. The math test I have Monday, who cares? The gang of weightlifting private school jerks taking over the basketball courts, no problem. It's all gonna work out just fine. That's the Barney's magic, and once you feel it, you can never get enough. My grandmother puts up these fresh air things all over her apartment. They have names like Irish Meadow and Seaside. I want a gizmo I can plug in, and wham! My room smells like Bernie green grass. Can anyone tell me what a gizmo is? Think about it. I'll give you a second to think. A gizmo is like a device or a gadget. And if you think about it, does your parents or grandma, grandpa, or aunt, uncle have anything that they plug into the wall and it makes the room smell better? I know my parents do, and I personally do. Normally, Barney's won't let you sit unless everyone in your party is there. But since we're regulars, Zippo let me go straight to our table. Hey, kid, he said, holding out his palm. Hey, I said, smacking as I slid into a booth next to the window display of challah breads. The usual, he asked, rolling a toothpick from one side of his mouth to the other. Uh-huh. What about Mom? I have to check if the Kriplak's ready. Zippo has known Mom all her life. She grew up coming to Barney's with her parents, and Zippo was already a waiter back then. The guys in the kitchen love her because she gets the Kriplak. According to Zippo, very few people order Kriplak anymore, and nobody but her even orders it for breakfast, so she's something of a celebrity. If you don't know, Kriplak is like a Jewish wonton soup. I'm not a huge fan, but you should decide for yourself. I don't think I've ever had that before, and does that sound too good? What do you think? She and Dad both want Kriplak, I said. Really? Tom's getting Kriplak? Zippo said, impressed. And what about thing 1 and thing 2? Plain bagels with cream cheese. That's it? That's it, I said. Zippo rolled his eyes and disappeared into the kitchen. I don't know how long I was waiting, but by the time everybody else got there, the food was already on the table and I was halfway done. When I looked up from my plate, they were making their way through the crowd by the counter. Zoe was crying and my father was carrying her out in front of him to keep from getting stuck with one of many chopsticks poking out of her hair. Mom puts her own hair up with chopsticks when she's cooking, but she only uses 2. Her hair wouldn't even hold more than 2, but Zoe's hair is like Velcro. Curly, orange, gravity-defying Velcro. Of course, my parents love it because the rest of us, including them, have boring, dirt-colored hair. It's not just my parents either. Everyone loves Zoe's hair. Teachers, waiters, bus drivers, strangers on the subway, and the ones who don't know about the biting will even try to touch it. No more crying, Zozo, Mom was saying as they got to the booth. Zoe dialed back the wailing to a whimper. What happened? I said. You-know-what was in front of that new restaurant on 86. Janine said as she slid into the booth. Zoe is terrified of this 20-foot blow-up rat with red eyes that shows up around the city whenever somebody hires non-union workers. If you hire guys who aren't in the union, you can pay them less. But the union guys get really mad and park the rat outside your job so everyone knows you don't hire union guys. I'm not sure why it's a 20-foot rat, except that it's gross and hard to miss. I want to go home the other way, Zoe whimpered. Don't worry, we're going to the garage anyway, Dad said, groaning as he lowered Zoe into the booth. I don't know how my parents can lug Zoe around everywhere. She feels like she's made of bowling balls. It's not if she's a big 4-year-old either, Dad says. It's because she's solid, which I don't get. Aren't we all made of the same stuff inside? How can her insides be more solid? What do we need the car for? I said. Road trip, Mom said. Apple picking. They have those pink ladies, the small ones we got at the farmer's market that time. And I found another farm on the way that makes its own ice cream. Cool, I said. Do you know what flavors they have? If you're asking if they have olive oil, I think it's unlikely, she said. Olive oil ice cream? That doesn't sound too good. I had been, ever since my parents took us to the Italian restaurant downtown that made it, I've been on a quest. I know olive oil ice cream sounds like it violates some basic law of the universe, but the weirdest thing is, when you taste it, everything you ever thought about ice cream gets completely turned around. Vanilla seems wrong. Chocolate? Crazy. Olive oil? What God put on the earth so we could turn it into ice cream. The whole experience really messed with me. I mean, if olive oil is really supposed to be made into ice cream, maybe we've been using other foods all wrong too. Like maybe there should be a steak-flavored yogurt. Sorry, Mom, but maybe they'll have some fabulous flavors they make with stuff from the farm, like pear or buttermilk. Not the same, I said. Get over it, Nutty, she said, swatting me with her scarf. Nutty is what Mom calls us when we're being thick. It's short for nudnik, which means stupid in Yiddish, a language her grandparents spoke and pretty much nobody else does anymore. I guess that's the kind of the point. It's not like she wants people to understand that she's saying. Besides, nutty sounds sort of the nice way she said, Besides, nutty sounds sort of nice the way she says it, and moron sounds bad no matter how you say it. Mom tasted the soup and made a face. Crepe looks cold. Zippo will reheat it, Dad said. It's busy, I don't want to bother him. Janine pushed her untouched bagel across the table. What's wrong with you? I said through a mouthful of egg. Ask her, she pointed at Zoe with one hand and showed me a Band-Aid on the other. She was taking too long, Zoe said, looking at me through the holes in her bagel halves. It doesn't matter how long she was taking, Dad said. No biting ever. We use our words. For some reason, when my parents talk to Zoe, it's always we. We use our words. We don't blow bubbles in our milk through a straw up our nose. We don't scream when we see a bald person. But I did use my words. I told her she was taking too long. The words didn't work. I was with Zoe on this one. Sometimes Jenny leaves you no choice. Besides, she's a drama queen. Most of the time, Zoe doesn't even break the skin. Alright, so that's the end of chapter 1. So I want you to think about, where is the setting? Where is the story taking place right at the moment? Okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and start on chapter 2 with the next video.